The room felt colder than usual, like the air itself was holding its breath. Cameras blinked in the dim studio lights, their red dots glowing like watchful eyes waiting for something, anything to happen. Crew members who normally cracked jokes between takes stood stone-faced, hands hovering over their equipment, unsure whether they should step in or step back. And right there, in the center of it all, stood Destiny, 43 years old, 3 seasons deep into the chaotic world of reality TV. A woman who'd seen storms, survived scandals, and somehow kept showing up with her head high and her voice steady. But tonight, something was different. The glow was gone from her face. The spark, the sharp comebacks, the calm smile she used like armor, none of that was there. What replaced it was something raw, something trembling, something nobody expected. Because what happened next didn't feel like a storyline. It didn't feel like planned drama or a shady exchange meant to boost ratings. It felt like the breaking point of a woman who had been carrying far too much for far too long. And the moment her voice cracked, just a small crack, every conversation in the room stopped. Every whisper dropped. Every producer froze. For the first time, Destiny's pain wasn't hidden. It was spilling out in real time, and everyone was watching. But to understand why this moment hit so hard, why a room full of people who'd seen fights, tears, and chaos suddenly went silent, you have to go back. You have to understand the weight Destiny had been dragging behind her long before the cameras turned on. Destiny had survived reinvention after reinvention, long before she ever stepped into the world of reality television. She had grown up with a mother who taught her the importance of strength, but sometimes forgot to teach her softness. A father who drifted in and out like a shadow, present when life felt easy, impossible to find when things got tough. Those early years shaped Destiny quickly. She learned to solve problems on her own, learned to smile even when her heart was breaking. Learned to become the strong one, the dependable one, the woman who didn't need anyone. At least, that's the version of herself she carried into adulthood. By her early 30s, Destiny had built a small business from the ground up, something she was proud of, something she hoped would become a legacy for her son. And she did it while navigating a marriage that looked good on paper, but was quietly falling apart behind closed doors. Friends thought she was blessed, coworkers envied her drive. But nobody knew how many nights she cried in the car before walking into the house, pretending everything was fine. And when her marriage finally collapsed, the world judged her for it before they ever heard her side. They called her cold, they called her difficult. They said she acted like she didn't need help from any man. But the truth was much simpler. Destiny had begged for help, silently, for years. But begging doesn't work when the person you're begging from never learned how to show up for you. So she picked up the pieces. She took her son and rebuilt their life. No shortcuts, no praise, just determination and a prayer she whispered into her pillow when nobody was watching. Then came the show. The producers loved her energy, her beauty, her ambition, her resilience. They saw a woman who fit perfectly into their world, a woman strong enough to be interesting, but vulnerable enough to be pushed. Destiny didn't understand that part at first. She thought being on the show meant exposure for her business, opportunity, a new chapter, somewhere she could finally breathe. But reality TV doesn't offer breathing room. It offers scrutiny. It offers pressure, and it offers storylines that twist real life into something messier, louder, more dramatic than anyone could prepare for. At first, Destiny handled it well. She played the glamorous businesswoman. She played the funny friend. She played the strong single mother. She played every role because she thought if she kept performing, everything behind the scenes would eventually stabilize. But it didn't. Bills stacked up. Business deals fell apart. Friends she trusted turned out to be jealous, competitive, or straight up manipulative. And the person she depended on most, her ex-husband, kept pulling her backward when she was trying her hardest to move forward. You see, Destiny had spent years covering for him, his mistakes, his impulsive decisions, his unstable moods, his unpredictable spending. She paid bills he forgot about. She cleaned up messes she never created. And in quiet moments, when she thought nobody was paying attention, she prayed he would finally grow up for the sake of their child. But instead of growing up, he spiraled. And life, being the cruel teacher it often is, forced Destiny to pick up every broken piece he left behind, again. Still, she never said a word about it publicly. She refused to paint him as a villain. She refused to use her pain as entertainment. She thought protecting his reputation was protecting her son. But what she didn't know was that staying silent would become its own kind of trap. Because secrets don't stay buried forever. Not in real life, and certainly not in reality television. The tension started building when a castmate, someone Destiny once considered a friend, questioned her commitment to the group, insinuating she was checked out and emotionally cold. Destiny tried to brush it off. She tried to let it roll across her shoulders the way she'd done her entire life. But something inside her snapped. Not loudly, not dramatically, but quietly, like a rope stretched too far, finally giving way. Her eyes filled before she even realized she was crying. She tried to speak, but her voice seemed to fold into itself, trembling, breaking at the edges. The cast stared at her like she was suddenly speaking a language none of them understood. Producers looked around nervously, waiting to see whether she'd continue or walk out. But Destiny didn't walk out. She took a breath, and the truth poured out like water rushing through a crack in a dam. "I'm tired," she whispered. "I'm tired of pretending I'm okay when I'm not. I'm tired of carrying everything alone. I'm tired of protecting people who wouldn't lift a finger to protect me." The room went dead silent. Then she said something nobody expected. Not the cast, not the producers, not even the people who thought they knew her best. She revealed that for months she had been dealing with a crisis involving her ex-husband, something far deeper than the casual disagreements the show hinted at. She talked about his emotional instability, his disappearing acts, his moments of desperation that left her terrified for their son's safety. She admitted that she'd been covering up for him, hoping he would get help, hoping things would turn around before their child got hurt. And then came the part that made the whole room gasp. She confessed that she had been receiving calls, late at night, early in the morning, from the school, from neighbors, from mutual friends, warning her that he had been showing up when he shouldn't, trying to take their son without permission, slurring his words, acting confused, making promises he couldn't keep. She revealed that she'd spent weeks talking to lawyers, signing documents, filing papers she never thought she'd have to file, doing everything she could to protect her child without turning her son against his father. A balancing act that left her exhausted, terrified, and ashamed all at once. And then she said the words that made the cameras freeze. "I feel like I'm losing everything. My business, my peace, my trust in people, even myself." Her voice cracked again. "I can handle people dragging my name. I can handle the lies. I can handle people turning on me. But I can't handle watching my son get hurt. He's the only thing that keeps me breathing." Nobody moved. Nobody interrupted. Even the cast member who started the argument looked at the floor, guilt washing over her face in slow, painful waves. Destiny continued, revealing that she had been pretending to be strong for so long, she forgot what it felt like to let someone see her struggle. Every night she went home from filming, she didn't rest. She fought. She made calls. She worked extra hours. She tried to hold together a life collapsing in ways she couldn't fix fast enough. She admitted she was drowning financially because she'd taken on debt trying to help her ex one last time, hoping that if she saved him, she could protect her son. But it didn't work, and now she was the one at risk of losing everything. She confessed she felt judged, misunderstood, torn apart by people who only saw the polished version of her, not the woman who sat in her car outside the studio, gripping the steering wheel, trying not to break down before walking in with her makeup done and her smile forced into place. For the first time, the cast wasn't looking at Destiny like competition. They were looking at her like a human being, a mother, a woman who had been carrying a weight none of them even realized existed. And that's when Destiny revealed one final truth, the deepest cut, the one secret she never planned to share. Her son had started asking questions, real questions, about why his father kept letting him down, why mommy was always on the phone, why she looked tired all the time, why she cried in the kitchen when she thought he was asleep. Destiny paused, wiping tears from her face as her voice dropped to barely a whisper. He asked me if I was sick because I cry so much now. He asked if he did something wrong. My baby thinks he caused this. Her shoulders trembled. That's my breaking point. Not the show, not the drama. Him. His little heart thinking he's the reason everything is falling apart. By the time she finished, even the producers, people who spent years capturing chaos, looked shaken. Nobody expected this level of honesty. Nobody expected this level of pain. What started as a petty disagreement turned into a season-defining moment of truth that changed the way everyone saw Destiny. And in that silence, thick, heavy, almost sacred, Destiny did something she hadn't done in a long time. She exhaled. For the first time, she wasn't performing. She wasn't protecting an image. She wasn't trying to look strong. She was just human, tired, hurt, vulnerable, and honest. The emotional aftermath stretched far beyond that night. In the days that followed, the cast approached her differently, not with gossip or judgment, but with genuine concern. People offered to help with her business, to drive her son to school, to help her navigate the legal situation. Small gestures that felt like lifelines. But even with support, the emotional toll lingered. Destiny began questioning everything: her place on the show, her friendships, her choices, even her strength. She wondered if she'd failed as a mother, even though she'd sacrificed more than most people ever will. She replayed the moments in her head at night, wondering whether breaking down on camera made her look weak or finally allowed her to breathe. But here's the twist. What she thought was her lowest moment ended up becoming the moment that redefined her entirely. Viewers connected with her vulnerability in a way even producers didn't anticipate. People reached out with messages of support, sharing their own stories of co-parenting struggles, heartbreak, disappointment, survival. Her breakdown didn't destroy her image, it humanized her. And slowly, Destiny realized something she had forgotten over the years. Strength is not always about holding everything in. Sometimes, strength is allowing yourself to fall apart long enough to rebuild. Her breakdown wasn't a sign of weakness. It was the first honest step toward healing. By the season's end, she wasn't the same woman who walked into that studio with fear gripping her chest. She was softer, more open, more aware of her worth. She set boundaries. She prioritized her son's emotional safety over protecting her ex's reputation. She started rebuilding her business on her own terms. She began therapy, something she once said wasn't for her. And she finally gave herself permission to ask for help. And maybe the most powerful part? She forgave herself for staying too long, for giving too much, for breaking down, for being human. Because she finally understood something nobody had ever told her. You don't lose strength when you cry. You lose strength when you pretend you don't need to. Destiny's emotional breakdown became more than a dramatic moment on TV. It became a mirror for women everywhere who were silently carrying too much. And when the world went quiet that night, it wasn't from shock alone. It was because everyone felt her pain, her fear, her love for her son, her exhaustion, her truth. In the end, Destiny didn't just break down. She broke open. And sometimes that's the only way light gets in.